Hello. It has been a while. Like 2, 3-ish, around there, months, since I did anything. This video was recorded a while ago, and I never got around to editing it. Don't know why. It already had an intro, but I felt that I should revamp it because lots of things happened. So, here we go. But, yeah. First, I'm gonna show you something. The end of an era. A very short-lived era. But an era. Well, here we are. And that's about it, really. I mean, this is going to be another episode of Echo, and I will get around to doing more episodes to finally knock this out, because I've been on this for way too long. I'm very bad about not getting around to things, and I hate it. But, on to the video. So, here we go. Load game. Those are my quick saves. Here's the actual save. We get to actually see what happens during the party. And it sounds very good. And he's not here. Leo stabs the doorbell again. Frustration etched across his face. I shift the red velvet cake in my grasp. Alright, we got red velvet cake from a fast food place. I don't know how you can do that, but cool. Trying to hold both it and the Lucha figurine. Not really wanting to do more shopping after the incident, Jenna, TJ, and Leo had just bought Peyton fast food as gifts. Carl doesn't get out to Peyton much, so the three of us took it upon the three took it upon themselves to buy from 3 different locations. Leo got a couple large and juicy vegan burgers. TJ got those tofu tacos that are made from nacho cheese chips, and Jenna got him a bread bowl. As Grant trying to look through the frosted glass on the sides of the door. Maybe he's getting high? He should still be able to hear. I mean, maybe he just doesn't want to. Jenna holds up her phone. Now, TJ holds up his phone. I don't know how I managed to fuck that up. Great. Good start. He's not answering his phone either. Jesus! Leo, calm the fuck down! Oh my god! Whoa! That scared the shit out of me. Oh my god. Oh. Leo knocks on the door hard, his bicep bulging. I could be studying, Chase could be finishing his project, and you and Flynn could be at work right now. Instead, we're doing this. Flynn leans back against his truck a couple of yards away, briefly cantering his head in Jenna's direction. Wait. Yeah, that was Jenna. Briefly canting his head in Jenna's direction, as his name is mentioned. You know, fuck, I can't do this voice. You know, I may be... my brain. You know, I may be remiss to mention this, but you all are 6 shades extra bitchy today. Leo stands back, his paws on his waist as he takes a deep breath. His eyes, have a sheened, bleary quality to them. I hope I said that right. Anytime Jenna speaks, it seems like he's raw. It seems like he's wrought to near twitching levels of anger. Wow. Okay. All of Leo's plans to bring everyone together have had the opposite effect so far. Do they lock their windows? What? Leo growls. It's not like we're breaking in. DJ's ears pin back, a frown on his face. The wolf puts fist to his forehead. Puts a fist to his forehead, closing his eyes. I think he's just asleep. And it shouldn't be too hard to just get in there and wake him up. I look over at the side of the house and see a window well. Here. I point at it. What about that? Too small. I could probably fit. She hops off the front porch and crouches down next to the window, pushing at it. Wait, there's a security sticker here. Jenna hesitates, then pushes at the window again, but it doesn't budge. Locked. Then try the one above it. It's too high. I think this is going a little too far. I'll boost you up. Think you're strong enough for that? Well, you look like you've lost weight recently. Sorry, fun. Jenna turns, giving me a quizzical expression. Smooth. She does smile after a moment, looking more bemused than anything. I see her bushy tail flick some behind her. You know, some girls might take that as an insult. Are you one of said girls? No. I get the meaning of your words. And that's where it's flattering. Regardless. Oh, well, good, I guess. What the fuck is happening? That's what I'm wondering right now. What the fuck is going on anymore? I'm so confused. Oh my god. I am just baffled right now. I set the cake and figurine down on the gravel and move behind Jenna, cupping my paws together in front of me for her foot. Steadying herself with her paws against the wall of the house, Jenna steps onto my paws. Slowly, I push up, feeling my muscles strain beneath my fur. Oh, excuse me. Fucking hell, this is fucking stupid. How did he manage to say fuck twice in one sentence? My God. There's a light click, and I see Jenna pushing open the top window with ease. Good. Now I'm gonna try and boost you all the way up, alright? Your arm's doing okay? Yeah. Peachy. Her tail flicks again, and I get a mouthful of fur. Sorry. Like we're some kind of cheerleading duo, I shove Jenna as high as I can with both paws. She grabs the ledge, and I feel the weight. Burden lift as she dangles against the side of the house. Careful, don't fall! Her bushy tail is the last thing we see until she pokes her head back through. Kitchen. I fell in the sink. Okay, unlock the door now. She disappears again, and we make our way back to the front door. Leo, why didn't you help? You're the fucking muscle here. If you don't shut your fucking mouth, Flynn, I'll use my muscles to kick. I have a bad habit of trying to read without looking at the sentence and stumbling over my words. Ooh, wow, okay. If you don't shut your fucking mouth, Flynn, I'll use my muscles to kick you right in your vag. Sound good? Jesus. Leo turns on him. One foot in front of the other. Flynn shuts up. TJ, meanwhile, has his eyes upon the wall in front of him. Usually he's all smiles when we're gathered like this, even though the swearing and crude stuff. Right now, though, his eyes just look sort of vacant, like earlier at the mall. Finally, we hear the door rattle, and it opens. Called his name, but he didn't answer. Well, he's gotta be here. It's not like he can go anywhere else. Or would want to. Nope. The fucking messaging app just closed itself. Great. Love this fucking computer. I pick up my stuff and head inside. Carl's house is... Like, what? I love this. It's interesting. Carl's house is as massive and immaculate as I remember it. It is a mansion, after all. Well, maybe less immaculate than I remember. There are a few wrappers and pizza boxes on the marble counter. I assume that's because Carl's parents aren't here to tell him not to be a slob. Flynn immediately heads up the stairs. Yo, Carl! Jenna stands in the kitchen, her paws on her hips as she looks around. Strange being back, isn't it? Like in general, or... She shrugs. Carl! I hear the others scampering around the house. Leo moving out to the backyard. TJ, meanwhile, checks the garbage. She pulls out her cell phone, tapping at it a few times. It is very faint, but I can hear a distant vibrating sound somewhere in the house. Jenna turns and I follow, stepping past the spacious living room. I didn't know it was possible, but it looks like Carl's parents got an even bigger TV since I was last here. Carl's room looks pretty damn similar to how I remember it. Though usually he makes at least a mild effort to pick up after himself when I'd be coming over. There's so much dirty laundry and trash scattered about I can hardly see the carpet. God, it smells like Leo's glove box in here. I wonder why. Jenna gives me a slight crunched nose look. Pause, then nods acceptingly. She pulls out her phone, calling Carl's number again. This time the vibration is much closer. Rattling sound audible as the device vibrates against a wood surface. Still, the sound is kind of muffled. Sounds like it's coming from one of his drawers. Ordinarily, I'd be vehemently against rifling through one's personal stuff, but this is a special circumstance. I'm not gonna stop you. Jenna starts pulling open drawers in the dresser while I check out the desk. I feel guilty of doing it, but there is sort of a thrill to be had in snooping about like this. I start stumbling upon old comics that I'd given Carl myself back when we were kids. The corners dog-eared all to hell. The next drawer looks to be chock full of portable gaming system stuff, including all his cartridges just scattered about. I remember every day on the bus I'd sit next to Carl just to play, because his parents bought him all the expensive devices. I'd always guilt him into saying that he could play at home whenever he wanted, so he usually let me play the whole ride from Echo to Peyton. Find it yet? I blink and then shake my head next to the drawer, checking the next drawer. No, but, well, that's a flashlight. Oh, well, okay, hang on. No, but, well, that's a flashlight. Butthole one, too. What? I shut the drawer, trying not to think about it too much. Nothing. Well, I found it. I spin around, moving to Jenna's side. It looks like she grabbed it from somewhere wedged between Carl's bed and window. Does it have a lock on it? No, it doesn't. Carl's parents have always been really good about respecting privacy, yeah? How fortunate for him. Yep. Jenna swipes through the messenger tab at the... yeah. Though, for some reason, now she keeps the screen out of sight from me. Her brows raise at something, and she pauses. What? What is it? She quickly shakes her head. Nothing relevant. She returns to tapping about again, and I can hear the others still calling for Carl, so I guess they haven't found him yet. Again, she's rocked to pause. Are you gonna tell me what's up this time? She stares. So, apparently Carl took a picture last night. There's a disconcerting look in her eyes, which tells me this is different than just another pic of Carl's ass. Okay. She holds up the phone for me to see. I just got chills on the back of my neck. Holy shit. I stare at the sunlight reflecting upon the ceiling above me. Its pale golden hue has gradually shifted to a more amber tone as dusk nears. Uh-huh. We showed up around, what, 2-ish? Yeah, usually I'd be at work, but I took time off for Leo's party plan. The patter of Flynn's feet is audible behind me as he paces back and forth upon the tile floor. Glancing over the edge of the couch, his gaze is fixed upon the ground in front of him, the phone cupped against the side of his head. What? Mm-hmm. He's in the kitchen now, using your coffee machine. All the old gang's here. To repeat, the alarm wasn't armed. Carl usually doesn't set it. We got through the top window above the kitchen sink. Flynn points towards the aforementioned window despite currently explaining it on the phone. Leo stands motionless in front of the kitchen window, facing away from us. Well, Jenna did, then unlocked the front door for the rest of us. Wasn't my idea again. The place is kind of messy, but we didn't see any signs of anything broken into. Jewelry above the bedroom dresser. Give me a sec. I'll check. Speaking of, here she is. Flynn hands the phone off to Jenna before heading upstairs again. She uncrosses her legs and stands up slightly, pausing for a moment as she listens to Carl's father on the other end of the line. Yes, Mr. Hendricks. It has been a while since we've last spoken. 5 or 6 years, actually. I go by Jenna now, yes? Instead of pacing about like Flynn, she moves over towards me. She rests herself against the arm of the couch by my head. Her expression shifts some, but I can't see much due to the sun glare coming through the window and the angle she is above me. My brother? Sorry, I stuttered a little bit. My brother? Actually, yes. When I went through his phone, it showed that they had texted earlier that yes, it does appear Carl was buying weed from him. She's quiet now, listening, and I can hear Carl's father on the other end now, meaning his voice is a bit raised. I turn on my side, propping my head up with an elbow on the armrest in an attempt to read her expression. That's a lot of pauses in the one sentence, though. Jenna doesn't appear fazed. She doesn't look at me either. Mr. Hendricks. The voice at the other end continues. The high-pitched gasp of the high-pitched rasp of Carl's father's voice is still audible a minute later. There are pauses in what he's saying, but Jenna doesn't interject. Finally, there is a pause of around 5 seconds before I can hear a quieter, "Are you still there?" coming through. "Yes, Mr. Hendricks. At this time, I'm going to file a missing persons report with the county sheriff's office, citing the image I sent you from Carl's phone." Looking over, Carl's phone sits upon the coffee table, the red-eyed image still displayed. Something about it seems so familiar, yet exactly why escapes me, like fleeting deja vu. It makes me uneasy, even though the context of our current situation, it makes me uneasy even without the context of our current situation, which makes it worse. It hasn't been the minimum 24 hours, but as you said, the fact that his phone, wallet, and all your other vehicles are accounted for is worrisome. She waits, listening. I'm going to tell the police that we were given the go-ahead to come and go from the building during the week. If you could confirm that when the sheriff's office calls you later, that would make things easier on us while we keep up the search effort. Do you and Mrs. Hendricks have any recommendations on that front, regarding where he could have gone to? She reaches over, and I feel her paw move beneath my tough chin. Her fingers scratch along my jawline, and my eyes begin to lull. I don't know why I'm still so tired. I look up at her, though her gaze still doesn't meet mine. She continues to pet me, eventually reaching up to ruffle my head scruff. Raises me from my lulled state, and I blink up at her. She covers the phone with her free paw, muttering to me, "Hey, wake up. Can you see if TJ made any progress upstairs?" "Oh, yeah, sure thing." Hearing the telltale thuds of Flynn's heavy-footed gait upon the terracotta stairway, I glance up. He returns, shaking his head. "Shit's still there." Jenna nods, seeming to ignore the now strange look that Gila is giving us. I sit upright. I think Mr. Hendricks is giving us some advice of where to look. Jenna again nods in confirmation, though Flynn still peers at us with a furrowed brow. "Were this any other time, I'd have some shit to say right now." He sighs, nostrils flaring. I lean forward, taking hold of Carl's phone and peering at the image again, up close. Okay, I already know what's gonna happen here. But because this is a very hard to forget part, but my God, I cannot disagree with it. Hang on. Just watch what happens. I'm gonna check out some of his messages myself and see if I can find anything. And up it goes. And it just boink, and then you just see that. The cell phone is plucked from my grasp. Sure, that's how you say it. It's plucked from my grasp. Flynn's standing above me. Jenna and I look through that. "Now you're just wasting time being a snoopy shit." Flynn's emerald gaze briefly flicks to Jenna, then back down to me. Surprisingly, Jenna nods in agreement, then motions to the stairs. We got this, Chase. Like I said, go see how TJ's progress is going. She looks to Flynn with a soft, stern, knowing expression before responding to something on the phone. Well, the convenience store is a few miles from here. Does he usually walk that far? My cheeks burn at the scolding, and I rise to a stand. Turning to leave, I can still see Leo standing, unmoved, in the kitchen. He's like a photograph, a still image, silhouetted in contrast to the fading sun through the window. It's weird. Usually Leo is the one who jumps into action when this sort of situation, or at least he did when we were kids. De facto group leader and whatnot. Though, since we found out Carl's missing a couple hours ago, he's been pretty resigned. Hell, Flynn and Jenna have been the ones coordinating everything so far. He glances over his shoulder, the first bit of movement I've seen him do in about 15 minutes. I can see his red eyes from here. He's staring straight at me. I find myself walking over despite myself, Flynn and Jenna busy talking with Mr. Hendricks over speakerphone now. I enter the kitchen and approach him. Hey. Yo. Silence lingers between us. So, Carl. Yeah. You know where he might be? Uh-huh. Of course. I'm just not telling anybody, because I like all this quality time we're having here, eh? Leo, this is serious. Jenna's about to call the sheriff. Yeah, good. 2 birds with 1 stone. He holds up his phone, a notification on the screen I can't quite read. Got a call from Marina back at my parents' house. The police were checking to see if I was there. What? My brow raised. I tried to study Leo's expression, but he's stony as all hell right now. His jaw set. A near constant grit. Familyplex got my plates from the security camera. From the security camera things in the parking lot, I'm guessing. I sigh, rubbing my forehead. I'm about to open my mouth and say something, though I catch a sort of strange, empty look in Leo's eyes that brings me to pause. I decide against my scolding and instead move beside him, taking one of Carl's mugs and pouring myself a cup of coffee from the coffee maker. It's one of those fancy ones that has an espresso maker built in and a basket next to the machine with at least 30 different flavored cups. The flavors are mostly dessert-based, with labels like salted caramel, frosted oatmeal cookies, cinnamon churro, and truffle sundae. They sound pretty damn delicious. As far as I know, Carl's the only one who... As far as I know, Carl only drinks energy drinks. And usually, obscene quantities of them. After taking a sip, the bitter scald hits my tongue, and I find myself reflexively reeling before getting a chance to swallow. Despite having all these choices available, it looks like Leo went for straight black. Leo's gaze shifts back to me, and I see him perk a white brow. Damn fine cup of coffee, eh, Judah? I managed to swallow without sputtering too much, putting on a slight artsy flair to my tone. Black as the moonless eve at midnight. Just how I like it. He smiles, though it's a visibly pained expression which he obscures behind his own cup as he drinks. I bet at university all you drink are those rainbow frappuccinos I saw on the news. I remember when those came out. My dorm was by the library and the coffee shop. And there was selling them. The line was insane and they sold out super quick. My friend Vincent, he's a barista there. He tells me it's just mango juice, sprinkles, whipped cream, frappe syrup, and food coloring. Oh, that the same photo? That the same Vincent from all those photos you've been uploading recently, yeah? The other wolf guy? I can see where he's going from a mile away. I take another drink of my coffee, despite the bitterness. I mean, the pictures, they just pop up on my timeline. Yeah, I keep seeing them pop up. Yeah, same guy. I hear ya. There's a pause and I change the topic. Are you gonna turn yourself into the sheriff? Not yet. He responds quickly. Gotta find Carl. And I think a wolf who's known the horn fucker. My brain is melting right now. Gotta find Carl. And I think a wolf who's known the horn fucker his whole life can sniff him out better than some overpaid mall cop, eh? Will be more trouble for you if Sheriff Malco, assuming that's who's still in charge, finds you first. Leo sighs with a frustrated, gravelly rasp, his gaze flicking down to the kitchen floor. You sound like Jenna. It's probably because what I'm saying makes sense. Excuse me. The wolf looks up, his bug-eyed gaze focused upon me as if he were searching for something. This damn get-together's gone more badly than I could have ever predicted, you know? I'm not disagreeing with that sentiment in the slightest. First Flynn at the river, then the shit at the Familyplex, now Carl's nowhere to be found. This may be the worst shit ever. This may be the worst shit, yeah? But I wouldn't ever be able to forgive myself if I gave up the last chance I had to ever spend time with you guys again. You know? He sets his coffee down, his paws grasping the back of the countertop. Leo, come on, we'll see each other again. You don't know that. Jenna's moving all the way to the East Coast. DJ out of the country, probably. And After what happened to the family plaques, to the what? After what happened at the family plex, you probably don't want to see me ever again either, eh? There's a serious intensity in the cadence of his voice, as if something is practically choking him as he speaks those last few words. The air even feels weird. I think for a moment about what to say, still processing Leo's response. Looking around, I spot an old black beanie hanging upon the coat rack by the door, and I remember something. Carl once told me something back when I said you were becoming too cool for us in high school with football and stuff. You know, back when you stopped riding the bus and just spent all your time after school at practice with the jock kids. He said that after all the shit that we've been through, none of the present petty drama stuff mattered, yeah? I mean, sure, I'm kinda skivved, but it doesn't mean I hate you forever. Just hate me temporarily then? I sigh. You still haven't said sorry or anything, man. Why would I say sorry when it's fucking Jenna who showed up and ruined everything, yeah? Are you serious? I told you to fuck off too. Why? Why? Jesus Christ, man, you were grinding on me like 15 feet away from the fucking kitty corner. You used to do all that sort of horny I almost said shit. That's not how the sentence goes. You used to do that sort of horny stuff to me all the time. Now you're different. He gesticulates with a swirling motion towards me using both of his paws. Well, I guess I am. It's sort of the point about why it's fucked up. Leo blinks, his shoulders raised high. He begins to speak faster and with more of his old accent seeping through. You didn't even tell me you didn't even tell me it was uncomfy or nothing. You just told me straight up to fuck off. It felt appropriate at the time, man. This is why I didn't want you to leave Echo Water. It isn't like things weren't great between us here and you... I can't read. It isn't like things were great here between you and I before I left either. Because Jenna got to you. What are you talking about? We had it all planned out. The house, a car, a job waiting for you at my dad's shop. The life we talked about ever since we were little. Then Jenna started talking to you about Pueblo and how you should go. To hell with all us hick trash. We're better than them, yeah? Leo? And then she came up with that fucking prank. I see his fists shake, and instantly I know what he's talking about. You broke my phone. You broke my heart, Pachuca. For fuck's sake. I can't speak. Someone's cutting stuff in the other room. the kitchen. I can't read for shit.
For fuck's sake, shut up.
Dude, that was a bit glitchy. Woo. Flynn steps into the kitchen, and I realize I can still hear the faint sound of Jenna on the phone with Mr. Hendricks in the other room.
While you two fuckers are having a domestic... What? While you two fuckers are having a domestic, Carl's getting reamed by the Mothman. Or whatever the fuck that red-eyed shit is on his phone.
Leo steps forward, his jowls curled back into a snarl.
Get out of here, Flynn. Surprisingly, Flynn holds his ground. The lizard squeezing his fists against his chest and stomach as Leo approaches, reflexively defending himself in case swung upon. We don't have time for this shit.
Leo stares hard at him, his shoulders raised and his fur bristling. Flynn flinches some. It reminds me of how Leo acted towards him at the river. And I'm starting to wonder if this is how Leo treats Flynn when we're not here. Leo, what the hell are you doing? Calm down, alright? I'm still fuming from what Leo said, but even I know this bickering is petty in contrast to the problem at hand. A solid 10 seconds of silence passed, neither of the two tall figures budging an inch. Oh shit. Finally, Leo steps forward, shoulder checking Flint hard enough that he stumbles back against the wall.
I'm gonna find Carl myself.
Flint sputters angrily. Leo muttering some string of swears he has as he heads towards the door. My brain is melting.
At least tell me where you're going to look so we know where not to go.
Leo pauses, his hands on the door handle.
Danica Street to Elizabeth Road, south to north. Great. Good luck.
Oh my god! He is the best boy! Oh my gosh! Huh. You know, Leo reminds me of myself, a lot of myself when I was younger. My goodness.
Good lord.
Kool-Aid. Good. Good flavor. Kool-Aid. The door slams behind me, and the heavy stomps of his feet on the gravel outside. He's gone. I look down and realize that I'm shaking. Even if it had been years, an argument like that with someone who basically defined my childhood and teenage years as a way of hurting deep. That stupid fucking prank. I try to refocus, making my way over towards knocked over Flynn and offering him my paw. You okay, man? He glares up at me for a second, then takes my grasp and pulls himself up. The lizard weighs a ton, though nearly pulling me down with him.
Just go up, TJ already. Gonna check the Gonna check the basement again. I can't speak right. Oh shit. There's me hairs all over this road now. He dusts off his front and begins fiddling with his shirt collar, walking off back towards the stairwell before I can respond. Through the window I can see Leo outside. He's down the road a ways, past his van. He's talking to someone. I see the figure. He's talking to point towards the house we're in, and Leo crosses his arms. It can't be the sheriff already, can it? Moving to the window, I get a closer look, and I can see the figure is a weasel. Duke. Jesus, I haven't seen him in years. I used to see him around on his porch a lot, back when I visited Leo's place near daily. As far as I remember, he was the loner type, occasionally getting involved with civic stuff and the mayor. I have a vague memory of him being married to a younger lady when I was a kid, but I don't remember seeing her after first grade. His interactions with me were always pretty brief, not much to judge a personality by. Now, though, he's pointing at the house, speaking loudly, though I can't discern what he's saying. Leo just looks angrier, his tail stiff. Despite the range, I can practically feel the other fellow's gaze shifting, meeting mine through the window. His pointing hand shifts now, aimed directly at me. I reflexively blink, stepping back. When my eyes refocused, there's a plume of dust in the air. Duke's on his back in the middle of the dirt road, and Leo's quickly marching back towards his van. What the hell? Duke's already back up on his feet, sprinting now, away from Carl's house. His mouth is still moving. He's saying something. Meow. Leo's van peels out of the driveway, gravel caking up on it in its wake. Within a few seconds, he's out of sight as well. Jesus. I walk over to the door, locking it once again, just to be safe. Left alone, I head out of the kitchen. As I walk past the living room, I overhear the low rasp of Flynn's voice, his tone serious. And then the fucker shoved me, saying he was pulling this shit at the mall too. Talk to Chase if you want more details. To think, you just had to pick this day of all days to fucking snap. Flynn rubs the tip of his snout. His slitted eyes narrow until they spot me. Then he just looks back to Jenna. Let's call Malco now. Right. Flynn begins to dial for the sheriff. Jenna looks towards the door, then me. We'll talk later, Chase, okay? If you want, of course. I pause, having been about to head upstairs. Oh, yeah, sure thing. She smiles at me, despite everything. Then back to this music again. shit just hit the fan right there. Actually, shit's hitting the fan right now. Carl's missing. Fucking Leo flips his shit. Even worse this time. And now... Yay. He's just gone. Now we got the police involved. I wonder how much worse it could get. Oh, hey! DJ raises from Carl's computer chair, clearly forcing a smile as he sees me. He's clutching his cell phone to his chest. DJ? Yeah? Are you okay? No. DJ sinks back down into the chair. Perking a brow, I move one of Carl's console gaming chairs over towards the computer area. DJ slides his phone back into his pocket. Worried about Carl. We all are. We're calling the police and hopefully they can help us, yeah? I know, it's just that image on his phone. You know, the picture Carl took? Yeah, it's spooky. Spooky doesn't begin to describe my initial thoughts regarding it, but this is TJ I'm speaking to, so gentle words and all. Yeah. One of his canines sink into his lower lip, and the lynx chewing on it nervously. Maybe it's a screenshot of something he had on his monitor. We could check his history and recent documents to make sure. Have you already checked all that? His face flashes with a guilty expression. No, there's a password required to log in. Oh, yeah, the new version of these operating systems make you log in with your email account. It's dumb. I pause, thinking for a moment, then scoot a little closer to the keyboard. May I? TJ blinks, it taking him a second to understand. Oh, yeah, sure. He rolls to the side, and I pull the keyboard closer to me. Clicking the mouse brings up the generic login window. The username Blaze Ice is visible. When we were young, Carl and I used to play a lot of free-to-play MMO-type games. And I convinced him to give me his password once, saying that I'd grind XP for him while he was on vacation with his parents. In reality, asshole me sent his rare party hat item to my character. I tried to tell him that the game devs deleted the item from the game, but I didn't think he believed me. God, I was a shitty 10-year-old. Oh hey, that worked! Yep, kinda surprised he's still using the same old password, but kinda not at the same time. Carl isn't much for change, right? Anyway, what should we look through first? TJ scoots closer, his chin practically on my shoulder. I have to shift my head some so that his whiskers don't brush my cheek. His messenger, I guess? Huh? I don't recognize most of these names. I see you and me on here. Most of these others are outside of our group. Most of these others outside our group are his online friends. It's good to know he's being social and meeting people after we left. Well, besides the names of people in our group, these look to be all online people. I played Vox Disperus multiplayer with Carl and the Lucha Licha guy before. He lives on the other side of the planet, practically. I wonder if he still talks to Heather. I hope not. There's a brief silence. Flynn messaged him earlier, though. I see a 1 next to his name. But I don't think he wants us reading that. He didn't want anyone looking through Carl's phone after he and Jenna were looking at it. Oh, shit. I think Flynn might have been venting to Carl about what happened at the river. Pretty hard-like. TJ's face briefly scrunches as if flinching in response to that information. I move to click on Flynn's name, but TJ stops me. Now, blinking, I look over towards a wide-eyed TJ who seems to be now recoiling from his own abrupt interruption. What? Sorry. I just think we shouldn't pry into that. If you didn't want us to see it. To be honest, Flynn being so caggy about his contact with Carl just makes me more curious. However, if that stuff Flynn said to TJ to his face was enough to leave him shaken and distraught, imagine what seeing the stuff he didn't say would do. Alright. I scoot back to the side a little, letting TJ take the mouse. He still looks pretty guilty for snapping at me. Let's check his browser history. Okay. Sorry, my ear is itchy. TJ moves the cursor down to the star-like symbol on the taskbar. Whoa, this is something that I am used to because my computers use this. It's kind of blocky, so I can't really read any of it because of how crappy this computer is. Like, you know, it's like I can see the individual pixels if I look close enough at some flat colored areas. Yeah. Huh. Okay. Weed, hauntings, porn, video games, movie reviews, job search stuff, and Let's Plays. I guess pretty par for the course with regards to Carl. Nothing too unusual, but TJ moves the cursor to the Fuda factory like, uh-oh! I gently yet assertively place my paw on TJ's own and move the cursor elsewhere. It's a store for special couches. Isn't it called a futon? No. Look, the browsing history stops right before midnight. And the picture on Carl's phone was taken around that time, right? Yeah. That's really weird. It is. Let's keep looking. Try recent files. TJ nods, closing the browser and hesitating for a moment before clicking the most recent file titled Carl.doc. Resume? Looks like it. Huh. I remember the East Mart. The Easy Mart, sorry. I'm still a little upset that they shut down. I mean, it's no surprise why, TJ. Yeah, it was just nice to have local food back when we were kids. The convenience store just isn't the same. The dietary choices available to people here now really limited unless they drive all the way out to Peyton. A food desert, I think it's called. Plus, it was nice to see Carl there working. He seemed to enjoy that place. Because he got to slack off the whole time and there were barely any customers. But I get what you're saying. His anxiety about being around people wasn't nearly as bad back then. TJ nods, smiling sadly. I bet Jenna could help him. You know she's not actually training to be a psychologist, right? Her studies are more neural med-techy. Excuse me. Oh, I know. She's a really good listener, though. I nod. It's your big ears. Chase! I snicker. TJ shaking his head and closing the resume. Moves to open the next document on the list titled... That's not a document. On the list titled F-space bottom dash blah 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 dot JPEG. JPG.jpg. So those are two different image types. Well, what the? Oh. Oh. This is the track that plays when you boot up the game. That's cool. Aww. It's my old profile picture I drew for computer class back in 4th grade. Wow, really? It does look familiar, kinda. Yeah, I used it back when we all made social media accounts. My mom made me delete mine when I got home. Probably for the best. There was a lot of drama around how that site made you pick your top 8 friends, and then you rank them like that. A lot of feelings were hurt and such. It sounds awful. I think I remember some of it. So you did never add me. Today's gaze shifts for a moment, wondering why he just saved, and why he was looking at it yesterday. Maybe spending time together again made him sentimental. I still watch some of the funny movies we made with your camera back then. Your voice used to crack so much. I feel a sting of embarrassment raising from my neck to my cheeks. Shit. Oh man, I need to delete those. No, don't. They're really good. As silly as they are, you're really good at making them. Grunt, waving dismissal. Just open the next file, TJ. I really like the one where you use that editing software to make a twin of yourself. Surprisingly, that is kind of easy if you know what you're doing. I think the plot was that one of the twins was a detective and the other was a criminal, both trying to solve their father's murder. And they had superpowers. I was more ambitious than I probably should have been with that project. TJ, just click the next one. Oh, alright, sorry. TJ clicks the next file labeled .png. Oh. Neat. That's from the trip we took to the reservation. Back in like freshman year of school. High school. Jeez. Look at you two. You were so little. Carl was just getting his beard. I think we were both just getting used to high school. Getting used to high school at the time. And that was taken during Thanksgiving. It's surprising to see Carl smiling in a photo. It's surprising to see something of Carl other than his muddle in a picture. I wish he wouldn't send me those. There's only one item left on the list. The files that were last opened yesterday. It titled to Carl.png. Wait a second. That sounds familiar. That sounds familiar. TJ looks at me curiously, then clicks it. Some of the older models, the basic chase design was kept, kinda, but the other two are, well, that's literally just the old Jenna model used, and this is just a little slightly different color car. Cool. Oh wow. I emailed this to Carl months ago. Make me wish I went with you guys to Pueblo. Yeah, I wish you went too, TJ. I was actually trying to convince Carl to come back and try again with a different major. And his parents really wanted him to stay away from art degrees, which is why he really wants to go. Which is what he really wants to do. TJ looks like he's about to respond, but his left ear perks, his attention shifting towards the doorway. I hear the sound of thuds against the carpet out in the hall, and I half expect to see Carl round the corner and ask what the hell we're doing. Instead, Jenna steps in. Her turquoise eyes already trained on the computer monitor. She moves closer, leaning over me and squinting at the screen. You remember that? First year at Pueblo. Your parents had just dropped you off. I was wondering what the heck you had on your chin at the time. Yeah, you hadn't seen me with facial scruff yet. Never took you for the soul patch kind of guy, honestly. It's a goatee. It's kind of small for one, don't you think? You frown. Reactively reaching up and touching the scruff at the end of my chin. I have a chin scruff as well. Mine is just a lot less visible. It's a lot more visible than it used to be. If you grab this, you can actually see my scruff. But I have a for some reason, across here, right in the middle of my chin. My hair is just not growing right there. But the rest is gradual. It was kind of weird, but now I'm used to seeing it. I frown deeper. TJ blinks, giving me an apologetic look. I try to refocus the conversation. Carl is missing. He is. Why are you looking at old pictures? These were the files he was looking at yesterday. And we checked his browser history. His online activity stopped just before midnight and did never resume. Anything unusual there? I think he was looking to buy a Fuda? Jenna stands there staring at TJ with a deadpan expression. After about 5 seconds, she looks at me expectantly. He means a Fuda. You said no, nothing out of the ordinary. Sorry. Okay, well, be sure to let the sheriff know when she gets here. Flynn steps into the room beside Jenna. Usually the Gila has a bit of a case of resting bitch face, but right now he's looking downright sour. Alright, let's figure out who's going to look. Let's see. Alright, let's figure out who's gonna look where. Wolf Boy's made his decision and gonna check the roads Elizabeth through Danica. Chase. You've got Margaret Lane through Tetanus Alley. Jasmine Street. I'm giving you more since you've got a car. I'll take Gretchen Way through the beginning of part of Route 65 in my truck. TJ, you like hiking. We need you to check out around the hills, the old nature trails around here, all the way up to the lake. TJ stiffens, and the feeling in the room seems to cool drastically. Only if you're comfortable doing that, okay? We just want to be thorough. I'm fine. I'll be fine. I just want Carl to be okay. Jenna nods, offering TJ a reassuring smile. Just text me while you're out. I'll most likely be free since I'll be keeping watch here at the house. TJ smiles back sheepishly. Okay. Before you all scat off to your respective places, I found some weird shit in the basement. Flynn holds up his fingers and brings some white chalky substance upon them. At the entrance of the crawl space, there was a bunch of hoof prints, dents in the wall, and plaster everywhere. like Carl was headbutting the damn thing. There's nothing I can see in there, though. My theory is that Jeremy gave him some bad weed, laced with some shit. And now Carl's on a real bad trip. Which is why I need you to talk to Jeremy when you get to Jasmine, Chase. He looks sidelong towards Jenna. Jasmine Street, I mean. I feel a chill crawl up my spine. Jeremy, and especially his friends, made my life hell during most of my childhood, especially after the lake incident. All of them were native inhabitants of Jasmine Street. If it wasn't for Leo stepping in, things would have been even worse. You can text me too, Chase. She seems to have read the look on my face. I swallow and try to look casual. Okay. Flynn rolls his eyes so hard I can see his pupils for a moment. Pausing, I remember something. I saw Leo get into an argument with Duke outside the house earlier. Duke kept pointing at it and was saying something to him. Whatever Duke said, it was enough for Leo to push him to the ground and drive off. Knowing Leo's minimum threshold of violent turns, probably hello. Flynn seems to soften a bit at that comment, looking sidelong to hide his smirk before turning his head before returning to his more hardened expression. But in seriousness, that is concerning. I'll also relay this information to the sheriff. That is hair stuck all on my foot. Haha. I'll also relay this information to Sheriff Milko when she gets here. I'll text Leo and try to figure out what he wanted. Good plan. Flynn immediately heads out without another word. DJ hesitates for a little, fidgeting with something on the computer, but gets up and leaves as well. Excuse me. I'm about to follow suit, but Jenna stops me, her paw on my shoulder. Hey, if Jeremy asks about me, you don't need to lie and say I'm not here or anything. Oh, yeah, I understand. She lowers her paw, crossing her arms over her chest. We'll talk later, yeah? I feel like I'm lingering on the point of awkwardness now. Good luck. You too. With a clearing of my throat, I shuffle my way out. Alright. I will cut this off here because we have SWAT scenes. We have checked out Charles. Anyways, if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, yada yada, YouTube spiel, blah. And I'll see you in the next one. Yo!